getting any medical care?
Not
The one that you will
very little. Since February 22nd. How old he is? But you know, his entire life has been. रहीम आप सब लोगों का बहुत बहुत अस्सलाम वालेकुम. हाजी साहब हैं और हाजी मोहम्मद अज़मी साहब, ताहिर साहब एंड अब्दुल गनी शमसी साहब एंड जितने भी यहाँ डेलीगेट्स हैं, ये आप समझ लें कि इनकी जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है MAPIM, it has a lot of hundreds of international organizations that support the voices of Muslims and human beings around the world. और ये बहुत बड़ा एक conglomerate है और ये इट्स अ वेरी पावरफुल प्लेस. जिस तरह एक OIC है, उस तरह MAPIM की भी एक इंटरनेशनली एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग वॉइस है. और इन्होंने मुझे इनवाइट किया था और मेरी वालदा को लास्ट ईयर कुआलालंपुर के अंदर. और ताहिर साहब इज़ अ पाकिस्तानी मलेशियन और इन्होंने बहुत इफ़ेक्टिव रोल प्ले किया और इनको मोबिलाइज़ किया और इनको बताया कि वहाँ क्या जुल्म हो रहा है और वहाँ पे एक सेमिनार होस्ट किया. और उसके बाद आप यकीन करें, मैं सामने बैठे हुए हैं मगर जिस तरीके से ये एडवोकेट करते हैं कश्मीर कॉज को, MAPIM ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो है, मतलब पाकिस्तान की फॉरेन ऑफिस भी जब कंडेम करता है या कोई कश्मीरी लीडर भी जब कंडेम करता है, मैं ये कहूँगी उससे भी ज़्यादा और बहुत स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट एक्शन के लिए ये आवाज़ उठाते हैं. और जब कभी भी कश्मीर में कुछ होता है, इतनी इफ़ेक्टिव इनकी वॉइस है. और इन्होंने अभी OIC को भी कहा है, यूनाइटेड नेशंस को भी इनके लेटर्स भी जाते हैं. और मैंने भी इनको जब भी यासीन साहब के साथ जो कुछ हुआ है, डेथ सेल में उनको रखा गया है, तो सबसे पहली जो आवाज़ वो आई थी मलेशिया से, वो MAPIM इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो इनकी है. और अभी इसके बारे में ये ख़ुद भी बताएंगे आपको. सब जो इनके डेलीगेट्स इस वक्त आए हैं, ख़ास तौर पे ये आए हैं पाकिस्तान और आज़ाद कश्मीर आए हैं कि आज़ाद कश्मीर से वो एक आवाज़ उठा सकें कश्मीरी कौम के लिए जो जुल्म हिंदुस्तान इस वक्त कर रहा है. और फिर से वहाँ पे मोदी की हुकूमत आ गई है और जुल्म और भी ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है. जंग का ख़तरा भी बढ़ता जा रहा है, जिस तरह की नफ़रतें फैलाई हैं और जिस तरह के वहाँ पे इलेक्शंस आए हिंदुस्तान की तरफ से. तो हमें इस तरह की जो इंटरनेशनल पावर्स हैं जिनका एक से है दुनिया के अंदर, जिसमें MAPIM का भी बहुत इफ़ेक्टिव रोल है. ये असिस्ट भी करते हैं, एडवाइस भी करते हैं. मोहम्मद महातिर जो ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ मलेशिया हैं, उनके बहुत क्लोज टाइज़ हैं उनके साथ MAPIM के. तो उम्मीद करते हैं कि ये आगे भी मज़ीद साथ देंगे कश्मीरियों का. और इस मुश्किल की जो कठिन घड़ी है इस वक्त, जो यासीन साहब को एक डेथ सेल में रखा हुआ है, कितने महीने हो गए जो उनकी हालत, किसी को उनका कुछ पता ही नहीं है, किसी को मिलने नहीं दिया जाता उनसे. उनकी हालत दिन ब दिन जो है वो वीक होती जा रही है. और मैं आजकल रमज़ान के महीने में मेरी बड़ी इंटरनेशनल कॉरस्पॉन्डेंस रही है यूनाइटेड नेशंस के साथ, ICRC, ह्यूमन राइट्स वॉच, एमनेस्टी इंटरनेशनल को, और भी बहुत सी मैंने इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को रब्ता किया है. और उनकी तरफ से भी जवाब आ रहे हैं और वो मैसेजेस भेज रहे हैं हिंदुस्तान को कि यासीन साहब को तिहाड़ जेल से निकाला जाए और हेल्थ ग्राउंड्स पे उनको निकाला जाए. तो कश्मीर में कितने और हज़ारों की तादाद में पॉलिटिकल प्रिजनर्स हैं, जिसमें शबीर शाह साहब हैं, आसिया अंद्राबी हैं, और कितने ज़्यादा वहाँ पे काउंटलेस पॉलिटिकल प्रिजनर्स हैं, हम जिनका डिमांड करते हैं कि उनको रिलीज़ किया जाए. और जो इंटरनेशनल जो कन्वेंशंस हैं ऑन द राइट्स ऑफ पॉलिटिकल प्रिजनर्स और जो सिविल और पॉलिटिकल राइट्स की कन्वेंशंस हैं, उनका सिग्नेटरी है हिंदुस्तान, जो इंटरनेशनल कॉवेनेंट्स हैं. तो ये उसकी भी डायरेक्ट खिलाफ वर्जी है, UN की रेजोल्यूशंस की भी खिलाफ वर्जी है जो ट्रीटमेंट की जाती है. एंड नाउ आई वुड लाइक टू speak in English and I would like to welcome the honorable delegation that has come from MAPIM all the way from Malaysia to my house, and in this hour of grief and sorrow when my husband Muhammad Mullick, who is the face of the peaceful political struggle of the right to self-determination for the people of Jammu and Kashmir under Indian occupation, he's in a death cell in Tihar jail, and his health is deteriorating at a very, very fast rate, and he is not being given any medical care. It is like a cage where he has been locked up with an open toilet, and he has no access to the world. Even if you lock a dog for a day in his cabin and you do not take the dog out for a walk, the dog becomes ill. And if you go to a zoo, the animals are locked up and the pain that you feel for those animals. But imagine a human being locked up literally in a cage, 24-hour surveillance, and not allowed to talk to anybody, in solitary confinement. And I'm his wife sitting here with my 7-year-old daughter who hasn't seen him for the past 4.5 years. And each time we go to India, because that's the way we are allowed to go to Srinagar because it's under Indian occupation, we are welcomed with the police of India. Within Delhi, we are not allowed to spend a night there because it takes almost a day to travel to Srinagar, day or two. We are literally on the roads near this famous Dargah, Nizamuddin Aulia. We're on the roads with my mother, my little baby. She was a baby at that time. She was 1 and 2 years old at that time, and she got pneumonia. And the attacks that she got, I got, my family used to get when we would visit Yasin in jails. So this time around, I have appealed to the international community, to the United Nations, that I want to go and visit my husband in Tihar jail, but I want a guarantee from the Indian authorities that if I get a visa, I have the permission to visit him in Tihar jail in Delhi. I have not received any response on that because I don't want a visa just for the heck of getting a visa and then not being allowed to meet my husband and being attacked, and his life is seriously at very high risk. So my appeal to the MAPIM organization through this letter to Honorable Haji Mohammad Azmi Saab and to the entire honorable delegation over here, that this is a voice from a wife of a political prisoner, Kashmiri political prisoner, and these are some of my suggestions and my appeals and urges to all of you to use your good office and to raise a voice for our political prisoners and also for our right to self-determination, and also for my husband, because it's like a ticking clock right now, his health state. Any moment, any news can come. So my only hope is the international community and my own Muslim brothers and sisters. And thank you once again. And I would also like to, after your talk with the press, because everybody is so eager to know how vocal you are in our support, and they're all very excited and very happy that you're here. So please share a few words, and if you would like any of the other delegates to speak to the media, you're more than welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and good evening. I'm speechless, actually. I didn't dream that I would be able to come to Mushaal's house. We barely know each other when we invited her to Malaysia for a conference on the plight of the Kashmiris. And when I heard her about the plight and predicament of her husband, I was almost sleepless because, you know, how can you have a situation of that kind? But we are not just talking about a person, you know, not just about Yasin. This is a symbol of repression. This is the kind of a situation where a power who wants to, you know, suppress people who have the rights of their own for their future, who have their own dignity. And when I've heard about this whole thing about how the Kashmir population are being decimated by the thousands, I just put it on myself. You know, we are not just going to sit on our backs and say this is a problem of Kashmiris. And reading through some of the things that Mushaal has been giving to me, when I was reading the reports, I discussed with the colleagues in MAPIM, calling the governments and asking the parliamentarians to come over and listen to what I have to say. And the message is very clear, that there's no doubt that we should get involved in this. Not because of, as I said, not because of one person. It is because of a population of human beings that have been denied of practically everything. And when I heard about the more aggressive terror kind of approach by the Indian government on the Kashmiris, I just cannot understand why the international community is ignoring this. You have a resolution from the United Nations, it's still there. You have these words about self-determination by the Kashmiris, and yet nothing has been done. And with all the things that have been reported from the Human Rights Watch, from the International, the Amnesty International, and also some of the documents from even the OIC, it's clear as day that this suppression, this torture, these killings, these murders cannot be just, seen as another story, as another predicament of one section of the world. And I was telling to some of the friends I was speaking that it happens on the very same year where the Palestinians were also erased out of the Palestinian land by the Jewish Zionists. And now we have the same situation of the Kashmiris being occupied by a foreign force. And then we have also the Rohingyas in the same year also being expelled out from their own land. And I see that the world is keeping quiet. And Kashmir, when I start to read, the situation even worse than Palestine. That is my view, and that is why whenever I receive reports from friends and our connection here, from Pakistan and also from people who has already come to Malaysia, and they are victims of this inhumanity, this injustice, I felt very strongly that we should not just hear the stories, just listen to the pains, but I was telling myself and my colleagues that this is our pain. What she is suffering with her husband it's us. Not being able to see his child for the last four years. I mean, this is a child, this is my child too. How can you do this? You can't even give a decent treatment to already a person who's been apprehended. We've just listened, Dr. Muhammad Morsi of Egypt has just died in the custody of a regime who was supposed to take care of his deteriorating health. And the same thing is happening to Yassin. And the world is watching. It is not something that the world didn't know. He needs the medication, he needs the protection, and he's been there. They're using the Public Security Act, and they can just keep her there for two years. And what if all of a sudden the court says that he's innocent? Who's going to pay for the last 2 years he's been apprehended? This is not the first time. He's been in and out of the jail. Like, it's like his whole life. Probably he's more in the jail than outside.
Yes.
And the family of one family, and then you have thousands and hundreds of families, children. And when we came out with this case of Asifa Bano, a child, innocent, is just, a child of that age. You raped her, you murdered her, and they were saying that, this is another case of their rights. And I'm here with the delegation of Malaysia. We are not only MAPIM as one, but we have our members here. We have the scholars from the Assembly of Ulama of Asia. The Ulama of Asia is under Ustaz Abdul Ghani Samsudin, and we have Sheikh Ahmad Awang. He is the chair of the Alliance of World Masjid, of the 5 million masjid all around the world. Is been trying to organize by him on various issues, especially on Masjid Al-Aqsa, but also he's going to voice out about Kashmir. And he has been reading some of the things before. And we have also an former parliamentarian here who says that, I have to come and see for myself and listen for myself. And this delegation, the intention is to give our full solidarity with you, the Kashmir Sister Mushaal, that you are not alone. I brought the sister, this is my wife. I told her about this, and she was asking, who's Mushaal, and what happened, why is the child is like that? So I'm saying, you come, meet her. This is Sister Latifa, the wife of Sister Afghani, and Sister Rosia, the wife of Sheikh Ahmad Awang. Now, they came here, they say that, you know, I've listened to your talks. I've been going to hundreds and hundreds of masjid. I've listed days of commemoration of Kashmiris, and sometimes they come for my talk, and they were blinking, what is this? What is Kashmir? Oh, we have been listening to Palestinians, and now we have Syrians, now we have Yemenis. What is this Kashmir? Now, this is a learning process, and until today, when we had a meeting just now with ISSI, and we have also a meeting with the Hurriyat, they opened, some of them even cried, listening to these thousands of half widows.
Yes.
And the children's become orphans.
There are half mothers also.
Half mothers and what have you. So this is something that I'm going to be very, very strong towards my own government for whatever things that they might have diplomatic and trade interests with India, but that is lesser to me compared to the lives of people. I mean, we are here in the world to live together, to share together. And why are people being forced to suffer like this? So I'm going to receive this formal letter from Mushaal today. I'm going to make a personal effort. I'm going to meet the Prime Minister of Dr. Mahatir. I'm going to the ASEAN Secretariat. I'm going to make my own effort to go even to the OIC to make sure that this letter will be read and be attended to. And I'm going to say this direct to the foreign minister who's a bit closer to me, that, you know, he is not well informed of the Kashmiri. I'm going to see him personally and going to say to him that Malaysia must voice out. The least that Malaysia can do is to say that the Kashmiri has the rights for self-determination. The Kashmiri has the right for a free, you know, future of their own. We're going to push this in the parliament. And I'm Brother Nasir Zakaria, although he's a former parliamentarian, inshallah he has access to the parliament. We're going to speak up in our parliament in Kuala Lumpur. My last word is, we have been thinking about what are the things that we're going to do for the Kashmir cause, and we have decided at least 3 things. One, we are going to form a strong international forum, and that will be launched. And I will want the Prime Minister himself to launch it. I don't know whether he's going to do it, but we are going to call him, right? So there will be a strong forum on this. It's not a national, it's not a regional, it will be an international one. So the case like this, like Yasin, will be then put forward. Number 2, we're going to send letters to all the Muslim countries and also the non-Muslim countries that what Kashmiris are demanding, what they are suffering, it must be accounted for. The troops, the Indian troops, must be taken to be, you know, to be answered in the court of law. They cannot just, you know, get away with these killings and murders. I, for one, will not be able to accept this. They have to punish this in accordance to international law. You know. So what we're going to do is that we're going to send strong letters to main leaders of the world, and we'll see how we're going to get response from them. The third and the last thing is that the Kashmir issue has not gone down to the people. You have some documents, some resolutions been put forward by OIC, by the United Nations, but it's not gone down to people. Now, I told Sheikh Ahmad Awang that with that 6,000 over masjid we have in Malaysia, 800,000 masjid we have in Indonesia, we have 10,000 masjid, we have it in Thailand, also in Philippines. We have hundreds and thousands even in Bangladesh and also in other places. We're going to send them letters so that the plight of Kashmiri will be delivered in all the masjid. whether in the form of khutbah, or a special prayer, or a special talk about this. So it will be then an issue that will be understood by people, and then that awareness will trigger a kind of a pressure on each government of the country to listen to the voices of the Muslims. My advice is this. Now, sister, I'm going to tell you again, you are not alone. We are with you. Your daughter is my daughter. Your family is my family. And this is, I'm representing all of us here. You know, your pain, your suffering is our pain too. I witnessed myself. I told Mushaal, I saw a baby. A mother died in front of me. I picked up that baby and I gave her the name of Mardia, and I will not forget this. I will not forgive myself by just saying that that is her problem. There was this case of Rohingya coming and trying to get help, and she collapsed in front of me and she died, and I picked up her baby. And I told that to everybody, that we are going to answer to God. It is not something that, you know, this is a problem of the other people. So my advice that we have a duty. This is beyond creed. This is beyond race. This is beyond nationals. This is beyond religion, if you talk about it. This is about humanity. And all people, the Muslims, the non-Muslims, must come together. And Kashmir must regain its dignity and its independence. So this is a statement I want to make. I don't know whether there's some other of the brothers and sisters who want to add. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Yes.
But again, I ask that what do you say, or any specific line or word for the criminal silence of international organization and superpower on Kashmir issue? And do you really think that in Narendra Modi government, is there any chance of permanent solution of occupied Kashmir?
I think the solution is to come back to the resolution that was put forward. I mean, that everybody agreed with that resolution by the United Nations. You know, that the Kashmiris has their rights to that, and then they have to be honored. So what I'm going to say to Modi is, why you don't honor this? This is a resolution that was not even the state, India nation did not go against that. It was passed by United Nations, and nobody was saying that, you know, we want to revoke it. So it stays. Now the point is, why is Modi not abiding by this? And why is the other countries who knows that there's a very strong resolution, why they're being quiet? So the silence of the people is becoming a complicit to the crimes that the Indian government is doing, and that cannot be accepted. So this is the word that we're giving to Modi. For whatever you want to rule India, for your own ideology stance of Hindutva, they want to make India no more a secular state, but a Hindu state, and therefore all other religions, all other creed should be wiped out. That is his problem. But we are relating to Kashmiris. Now, why are you doing this? For what reason? You know, these people were there. They had their own territory. They have their own identity. And they lived there. They didn't threaten anybody. There was no threat by Kashmiris towards India. If you talk democracy, India as the biggest democracy on earth, what democracy are you giving to Kashmiris? So this double talk, this hypocrisy cannot stand, and Modi has that face.
We are complaining that international community is not cooperating, but the fact is that our Muslim countries also engaging India with so many bilateral trade ties and etc.
That's the thing.
No condition for Kashmir or any demand for restoration of peace or for not violating human rights in Kashmir. what necessary steps can be taken to bring Muslim countries together on a single point agenda, that we will stand together first for Kashmir, then we will engage with India for any other trade or
That you
any
said,
other
and engaging the
Yeah,
masses.
I think, you know, you pointed out earlier that there is a lot of interest. Now, people wants to take economy as, you know, the decisive factor before you consider anything else. So this is the irony. On one hand, we are talking about unity of the Ummah, unity of the Muslims. So, you know, every time we speak about that. But then when you go to the practical side, you start to say, no, you know, we cannot send this message. Our bilateral relations, our diplomatic relations has to be kept. And to me, that is not Islamic. Islam says that the unity of the Ummah and the brotherhood of the Ummah comes first. You know, the other comes later. And this has not been translated by many of the Muslim countries, especially the elite rulers. You might see the people on the ground, the organization like us, the NGOs, we speak under the name of the Ummah. Forget about this thing about, you know, we have to put trade first, economic first. You must go, I mean, this is the most basic thing. But because of the elite rulers of every kind that you have among the Muslim countries, and they've been used and then become tools of superpowers, and therefore this thing cannot be realized. So our call is that stop being tools of superpowers and you come back to the essence of Islam, and you must have a confidence that God Almighty will give you, you know, the strength of the Ummah. And don't worry about this. You know, Erdogan, he is attending to 3 million refugees of the Syrians. And you can't imagine how he's going to, you know, how he attend to this. And yet he told me, personally, he said, for every 1 lira I spend to help our brothers and sisters, Allah will give us 10 liras. Now that confidence of among leadership is not within the Muslim countries. And we're calling them, you know, come back to Islam, come back to the real brotherhood, humanitarian relationship among the Muslims, and you will get the answer.
Thank you, sir. One question. You told before that in Malaysia, that not many people knows about the issues of Kashmir. So how do you see the role of the government of Pakistan in the issue of the Kashmir? Are you satisfied on this that they are doing well or what?
I know there is a signal by your Prime Minister, who have a high respect towards Dr. Mahatir, and he made it a point to come to just visit and meet Dr. Mahatir. And Dr. Mahatir reciprocated to come for the National Day of Pakistan. I think the chemistry is there. I believe and I'm confident His Excellency Imran Khan would have just whispered to Dr. Mahatir that, you know, we need to resolve this, we need to see what we can do. And Dr. Mahatir has given some signals in that sense, you know. He is a very strong person. He says what he wants to say. And I think Dr. Mahatir will slowly play a role. I don't know whether he will want to play a role as a mediator, or he will stand up and says, whatever it is, the rights of the Kashmiri must be given. I do not know how he's going to do it, but I am confident that the Prime Minister of Malaysia is going to play his role. But we have people in the Malaysian public. We have strong organizations. We have strong former ministers who I've seen and I've talked to, and they say, yes, we're going to be with you, to support you in the cause of Kashmiri, and we will get you to be supported by the ministers. I've gone around. I explained to them. Some of them were shocked. They would say, I mean, they just say out blunt that they say, you know, we don't know this. You know, we are not informed of this. So I say, never mind. I can be very angry. I mean, how can you become politician? You don't have anything in your head. But I say to them, okay, with all my humility, I will give you all the documents. Please read through it and then come back to me and say you must support. Because the motion that we're going to do is in the next sitting of the parliament, I'm going to ask one of the parliamentarians to read the motion of the case of Kashmiri. If that goes, then you have a parliamentarian backup for Kashmiris.
Would any of you like to speak? Tahir Saab, if you could...
I would just like to add that we as the civil society has taken it upon ourselves that we are going to raise the issue of Kashmir everywhere, and we will not stop, and we will keep on lobbying the governments, keep on talking to people, and keep on educating them unless, we get enough support to have our voices heard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And he has also been, as I mentioned, very instrumental Pakistani Malaysian to engage a lot of high-profile people and a very powerful network. And truly grateful to all of you. Sir, would you like to, because it's really an honor to have all of you here.
Has been introduced,
if I would,
the chair of the newly, formed, what they call is the Alliance of the World Masajid Independent of Aqsa.
MashaAllah.
And also Kashmir
MashaAllah.
struggle for Kashmir, inshallah, by educating people through khutbah or everything through the masajid. Especially we have around 6,000 or 7,000 masjid, Jami in Malaysia, and under the Masjid Jami we have another, I think, around 40 or 45,000. In Indonesia they have around 80,000 masjid, and also in our neighboring Thailand and Brunei, Singapore. Through this organization, the new organization, World of Masajid, inshallah, the issue of Kashmir will be always become what do you call popular and known.
Yes.
And people have the awareness of the struggle of the Muslim in Kashmir, because Kashmir is Brother Haji Azmi told it, like the Palestine and also Rohingya since 1948 when British rule left the India and the Arab countries. They must create something will make Muslim and neighboring country will have disputed, and like the issue of Kashmir, India and Pakistan is already 2 or 3 times war because of the issue Kashmir. So this is the problem. But we believe that if people, especially Muslim countries, they bring all this issue, and later on the government, with the political power of the government of the Muslim countries, I don't say it's not all the Muslim countries, but now we have like Pakistan with the new premier, Imran Khan is very popular, and our Prime Minister, the second round for the Mahatir in ruling, and Indonesia also, and especially Erdogan of Turkey. If these 4 leaders of the country can push this to the, not through the OIC, through the, what do you call, the cooperation,
joint
inshallah,
cooperation,
then the world
inshallah.
will
It's a
take
wonderful
up the
suggestion.
issue of the country.
And sir, I would like you to express, it will be an honor.
So we'll ask, inshallah, we will ask the ulama and organization of ulama organization to support your struggle and to do what must they do toward this case.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you once again. It is a great, it's a great honor to hear all of you and to see your solidarity with the plight of oppressed people of Jammu and Kashmir, because it was beautifully mentioned by Haji Saab that it's not a story of one man, it's a story of entire nation. Every human story of Indian occupied Jammu and Kashmir exposes the Indian brutalities, their policies of gross human rights violation. So every story is as important as the story of Yasin, and we must all join hands, which I always say, that grassroots mobilization for Kashmir is so important, and the way if it goes in mosques, we have khutbahs, we have lectures, we educate the youth, universities, college, seminars internationally, then I'm sure it can directly put a pressure on the governments or political parties of those regions, of those countries. اب میں اردو میں بھی یہی کہوں گی کہ بہت بہت شکریہ ساری آنریبل ماپن کی ڈیلیگیشن، آپ سب لوگ جو یہاں آئے ہیں، جو آپ نے سجیشنز دی ہیں، اور جو یہاں پہ حاجی صاحب نے جو کہا ہے کہ وہ مہاتر صاحب سے بات کریں گے جو پرائم منسٹر ہیں ملیشیا کے، اور دوسرے بھی جو یہاں پہ طاہر صاحب نے بھی کہا ہے، اور جو یہاں پہ جتنی بھی ماسکس ہیں پورے ریجن کے اندر ورلڈ ماسک فورم کو ہیڈ کر رہے ہیں، اور ہمارے سارے آنریبل ڈیلیگیٹس نے جو باتیں کی ہیں انہوں نے پریکٹیکل باتیں کی ہیں. صرف یہ نہیں ہے کہ یہ پریس اسٹیٹمنٹس ہوں گی، یہ باقاعدہ جا کے ہیڈ آف دا اسٹیٹ سے بات کر رہے ہیں ڈفرینٹ مسلم امہ اینڈ نان مسلم امہ کے ساتھ بھی، اور انہوں نے ان سے بات کرنی ہے کہ کشمیر پہ انگیج کیا جائے دنیا کو، اور امن کی طرف آئیں، اور حق خود ارادیت جو کشمیریوں کا ہے، اینڈ دیر آل آؤٹ فار اس. سو اس مومنٹ میرے حوصلے اور بھی بلند ہو گئے ہیں کہ دنیا میں ابھی بھی ایسے لوگ بستے ہیں جو انسانیت اور حق اور سچ کے لیے کھڑے ہو جاتے ہیں، ڈٹ جاتے ہیں، جس میں یہ پوری ڈیلیگیشن جو اس وقت خاص طور پر آئی ہے، جو کشمیر میں جو خون بہہ رہا ہے معصوم کشمیریوں کا، ان کی سٹوریز، ان کی باتیں سننا، جو ظلم ہو رہا ہے اس کے لیے آواز اٹھانا. اور اب یہ فورمز بھی باقاعدہ بنا رہے ہیں انٹرنیشنلائز کرنے کے لیے کشمیر کاز کو، اور یہ ہیومن سٹوریز کو پک کریں گے اور باہر کے اداروں کو اپنی آواز اٹھا کے ووکلی بتائیں گے اسٹرانگلی. اور میں اینڈ میں لیٹر بھی ان کو دیا ہے، انہوں نے کہا یہ محمد مہاتر جو ملیشیا کے پرائم منسٹر ہیں ان کو بھی دیں گے، اور بھی انٹرنیشنل آرگنائزیشنز جہاں جہاں یہ بات کریں گے یہ دیں گے، آواز اٹھائیں گے، پارلیمنٹ میں بھی لے کے جائیں گے، اس کے اوپر ڈسکشنز ہوں گی، اور دے میک شیور کہ اٹس فالوڈ اپ، دس لیٹر گوز اینڈ سم اس کے اوپر کوئی ایکشن ہو. اور اینڈ میں ایک پینٹنگ جو میں نے یہاں پہ بنائی ہے، ہاف مدرس، ایک آدھی ماں کا جو ٹائٹل ہے، جو مقبوضہ جموں کشمیر کی جو خواتین جو ہاف وڈوز اور ہاف مدرز ہیں، جن کے جوان بیٹے بیٹیاں جن کو غائب کر دیتی ہے انڈین آرمی، ان کو مار دیتی ہے، ان کو کہیں اور ان مارکڈ گریوز میں دفن کر دیتی ہے. تو یہ میں پوری ماپن کی ڈیلیگیشن کو یہ ایک چھوٹا سا ٹوکن ہے کشمیری قوم کی طرف سے جو میں نے خود پینٹ کیا ہے، کیونکہ میں پینٹنگز کرتی ہوں کشمیر کے اوپر جو ظلم ہو رہا ہوتا ہے، اپنے ٹیلنٹ کو میں یوز کرنا چاہتی ہوں کہ ایک میسیج جو لوگ ہماری آواز جن تک نہ بھی پہنچ سکتی ہو، پینٹنگ ایک ایسی چیز ہے کہیں بھی پڑھی ہو تو لوگ اس کی طرف دیکھتے ہیں اور پوچھتے ہیں کہ یہ کیا اسٹوری ہے، اس سے سمبلائز ہوتی ہے. سو آئی ووڈ لائک ٹو پریزینٹ a painting to all of you. It is a painting on the plight of Kashmiri women. This is a half mother and a Kashmiri woman who is sitting with a placard saying that I'm a half mother. Her son is missing, and there are numerous thousands of half mothers and half widows. These are rare titles given to the people under occupation of India in Jammu and Kashmir. They are displaced, they are missing, they are unmarked graves over there, which have all these stories have been picked by international world organizations like Amnesty, ICRC, Human Rights Watch. So this is a small, if you could stand up, I will present this painting. It will remind you of the people of Indian occupied Jammu and Kashmir. 8 minutes. I make. Yeah, I make. They can make it through. Just took 3 days to me. I made especially when I found out that they messaged me that people are visiting. They said in your office it would be my issue.
We will treasure every of these cases. Every.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Now we have a problem how to represent really well. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.